We're in session 3, so I'm very excited to hear if you had a good week, if you got a chance to practice what we have done so far.
Yes, 100%. First of all, I had a great week because because I had a focus of like I'm just focusing on other people. That was great. Um, I think acknowledgement gestures and like thanking service providers. I'm very American. I just do that all the time. So that was not like the new highlights for me, but like saying hi to a friend that you think about is something that I often don't do because I always like, she's with her kids. I'm just gonna be like, like I don't want to interrupt. And I did that twice, and it was just so awesome. I had conversations with people, and they were happy to hear from me, and I was happy to hear from them, and it was great. And I also actually connected 5 people this week. Some for work, some for just collaboration, and every single connection like this makes me so happy.
So what you're saying is that it was easier to start communication with people.
Yes.
Okay. So this is where we wanted to go at the beginning, right? Because we were at the stage where we were so nervous to approach, right? And suddenly that transition is easier. Hey, you're approaching people, right? For
And
actions.
it's fun. It's not just easy, it's like doable. I'm enjoying it. I'm not dreading it. It was awesome.
So just to recap, we had a few rules that we had in the previous 2 lessons, and it's the practicing giving that makes you a better communicator. But the most important rule that we're gonna upgrade today was focusing on the other person, right? And today I want to apply this rule to networking events. How fun. So, networking events. How do you feel about networking events?
It depends. I would say the less people I know in an event, the less likely I will go unless I'm really desperate. Um, the only few networking events that I went to and I really did not know anybody were when I just moved to Cleveland and I was like, okay, I have to get to know some nerds around here because they're not easy to find. And I just went to some tech communities. But if I do know a few people, especially now, I feel so much more confident and I feel like I could potentially like be actually interested in going and not just, oh, I have to go kind of thing, you know?
Why do you say that you have to go? I mean, what's pulling you in that direction? Why would you say you have to go?
To get to know people, when whatever you're trying to achieve, if it's finding a new job or starting to coach and do some private work or having a startup and you're looking for investors and you're looking for potential partners, you kind of have to put yourself out there and get to know people because that's the best way to go. You can try to do it remotely. It's working. It has worked for people. It has worked for me too. But I feel like networking events are like speed dating for this. You kind of like get to really meet a lot of people and hopefully get more meaningful connections faster, which is the title, right? This is like what it's supposed to be.
Right.
But like between supposed to be and what's actually happening and the amount of stress that it takes to get to like, oh, this was very helpful. Like I actually get something out of it is a very steep learning curve.
So let's talk about this because you're bringing up something that we all feel, I think, the dreadfulness of going to an event, the dreadfulness of meeting new people. But I have to because ultimately business is made of people. So what makes it, so dreadful to I have to go, right? And if we break it down, I think that we're at the point where we say, I have to go. And when I say I have to go, my mindset is on I need, right? So if I need something, I need to get to know people because, as you mentioned, I want business, investors, job, clients, whatever it is I need. The thing is, I am going to meet people at an event. Do they care about what I need? Probably
Oh,
not.
that's a great question.
Probably not, right? So when I go to an event and all I'm focused is on what I need, what I need, what I need, and I'm there to meet other people, this is why I'm dreading it because it feels like an awful job. Who cares about what I need? This is what we look like when we go to these events, right? So,
Ouch. Yes.
so, and today, what I heard recently, and I think you were telling me also this before, that, they're teaching entrepreneurs to pitch your startup or to pitch your whatever it is that you're doing in the first two sentences when you meet a person. And okay, let's play it out. There are 100 people in a room. I'm just going to go and pitch to these 80 people out of 100. This is what I do. This is what I do. This is what I do. Assuming that I get the best pitch, assuming. What are the chances that out of these 80 people, an investor, let's say, would come up to me and say, "Oh my God, this is the best pitch I heard. It is exactly what I need. Here's $1 million check." Okay? Chances are slim to none. So I'm going nonconformist here. And I'm saying and this is my statement, if you're going to a networking event, do not pitch your startup. Like literally, don't do that. Because you're like standing with a sign saying, I need, anybody care about what I need? And it's funny, right? And you're completely out of focus of what's going on. You're completely out of focus of really meeting and seeing if there are other interesting people. And if we break it down a bit further, at the end of the day, relationships happen when you bond with somebody. How do you bond with somebody? You bond with somebody
Yeah.
because maybe you care or you share something that you care about, right? So this is, I think, why we dread going to these events, because we need to step out of what I need to actually, getting to know other people and not thinking about getting $1 million check, right? So how do we do this? And the first rule really applies here. So we focus on the other person. We really want to switch and go to a networking event and really just focus on the other person. Maybe they're interesting. If they're not interesting, okay, we move on. But maybe they're interesting. Maybe they're unique. Maybe they have, an interesting life. Something about this person could be potentially amazing, right? So how do we do this? Okay. If we know that we always apply the rules of being a giver, putting the other's interest first, and being authentic, so it's easier to approach now people, right? So we can approach a person, and we did these examples previously, right? Today, I want to up a notch and say, here's the rule. When we ask questions, we only want to ask questions that we truly want answers to.
Here goes all the weather talk. I don't care about if it's cold or hot.
Precisely. I mean, why would you ask a question if you don't care about the answer? Because you don't care about the answer and the other person knows that you don't care about the answer, and you just said something to ignite a conversation. So this is not going to go anywhere. So how about we ask a question that we truly want an answer? And I'll give you a funny example. Okay. So I'm at this networking event in New York City, and I see this lady. I don't know who she is, but she's wearing this colored lipstick. It was mesmerizing. It was like between a red and an orange, like the perfect shade. And I couldn't help it. And I just came up to her and I said, "What colored lipstick are you wearing?" It's I And she looked at me and she started smiling and laughing. She's like, it took me a while to get to this combination. I don't remember if she said MAC number something and a combination of the orange of another company. And we started talking about this, right? Because I really wanted to know what color lipstick that was, right? And I just, because I saw it was something unique. And she obviously, um, responded and we spoke. So this is a
That's
question.
an awesome example because we often use just a piece of clothing to start a conversation. And you just proved that it feels and looks so different when you're actually genuinely interested. This is
Yep.
so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're not interested, if you just say, this nice where'd you get it, J. Crew, or where'd you get this? And they're like, yeah, okay, then what? Right? But if you're truly interested, ask questions that you really want the answers to. And here is why. When you ask questions that you're truly interested in answers, you're focused on the other person. It's not like you're asking a question to get an answer while your mind is wandering and doing other thing and thinking, when can I pitch now that person after they told me where that sweater is from, right? No, it's like you truly are focused on the other person. And when you're truly focused on the other person, you give rise to their presence. They're important. That color lipstick is important. Okay. That shirt is important. Or, let's try another one. Let's say you were in a convention in New York City and you bumped into a potential UX member from somewhere. And you ask him, where are you from? Because you really want to know. And he says, I came from Pennsylvania. So you can say, if you're truly just, wait a minute, how did you get here? Did you take the train? Did you get a car? Where'd you park? You are asking the questions. Why? Because we want to convey that we're interested in this person, right? Maybe he had a long trip, he's tired. Maybe he got stuck and maybe he said, no, I'm looking for a ride back. I'm like, okay, let me think. Maybe somebody's going away. Maybe this person has a whole trip organized. I don't know. It's interesting to know, right? If you're interested. So you could make it about trivial questions, but that show care. Does that make sense? People like it when you ask them, you know, about those little things in life. It doesn't have to be about what is your title at your new job. It doesn't have to be about this. It could be about very little things. So the more you care about a person, the more trivial questions you would ask them
Interesting.
if you're truly interested, right? So processing this, I mean, this is counterintuitive to anything that is being taught today about a networking event, right? But then again, you can try it out. How many times have you gone to a networking event, dreaded it, pitch your startup, nothing happened, or pitch your whatever it is? Or
And worse, I don't even remember all the people. I don't actually meet them because I just meet the people I pitch to, not, the person behind the pitch. And it's just, sometimes I would have to like create myself methods of how am I going to remember who is who and who I talk to and who I want to talk to instead of, I'm just comparing it. I know it's very, very different, but at work I had a lot of one-on-ones with people and I just applied these things. And I did take notes because I do that all the time, but I don't need to look at my notes and I remember things they told me because we actually connected. And I am hopeful and looking forward to see how this could work in a networking event with complete strangers, where the stakes are kind of a little bit lower and sometimes a little bit higher than you have at work. And because, like you said, it's so counterintuitive, but it worked for me in the little that I tried. So it's crazy.
Yes, I mean, let's take a practice session. Let's say you're at a networking event and there are some, tell me a networking event you're going to soon.
There is a We Make the Internet group in Cleveland. It's about like just tech workers, a bunch of
Okay.
nerds in one place.
Oh, sounds awesome.
I know. It is.
Awesome. You know what's awesome about it? Because nerds, hey, by the way, don't like small talk at all. So this is what's great about it. And with nerds is actually, if you can strike a conversation, it's going to be really deep, really fast. So how do you strike a conversation at any networking event you go to? So I'm a nerd. I work at tech support, and you see me kind of ogling the buffet, right? Type of deal. And you see me by myself. So see what you can tell me.
Hi, I'm Ruthie. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Ruthie.
Are you from here? I am. This is my second event, and I'm so excited to be back here. Are you from Cleveland?
Actually, no, I'm not from Cleveland. I am from Florida.
Wow. We're honored to have you here. This is awesome. What brings you to Cleveland? How'd you get here?
Well, just the networking event. I just wanted to meet some people and see maybe if I can find some new associates.
That is amazing. I would love to introduce you to some people that I know. What do you do? What interests you the most?
Okay, wonderful. First of all, I would stop because you see how this conversation is going in?
It's
So,
amazing. It's like magic. I can't believe it's happening.
so this is good, and I would like to challenge you, as always, one more time. So here is something that we do in America a lot, which is we use the words amazing a lot and wow a lot and super important a lot and all of these amazing words a lot. I want to take them out of the conversation.
Oh, that's going to be very hard.
Okay.
I'm
Why?
still stuck to like from 20 years ago. So that is going to be very hard to do.
I know. I want to take them out of the conversation because I want to keep, we said small talk, I want to keep it small. And the reason is when we come and we tend to say, oh, that is amazing, that is wow, this is super cool, we tend to uplift everything so much that there is no room in the actual nodding or sensing. So we just want to keep it really chilled and really about the other person. So can we try it one more time? And let's see where it goes. Okay. So I'm this nerd hanging out around the buffet, not knowing where I'm going, very embarrassed, kind of like looking nowhere. Okay. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Ruthie. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Ruthie. I'm Emma.
Hi, Emma. Where are you from? I live right here.
Hi, Ruthie. I'm from Florida.
Florida. What brings you here? That's kind of far away from home.
Yes, well, this convention is really important for me, and I wanted to see if I can meet some other people in the same area. So, yeah.
That's impressive. I don't think I ever traveled this far for a convention. I have some stuff to learn. I am happy to introduce you to some people that I know. What interests you the most?
Okay. And we can take it.
I have to think so much about everything I say if I don't use wow and amazing. No, it's so hard.
You see how the conversation just became softer.
Yes.
Do you feel it though?
I feel like I matured by like 10 years. It's a lot more mature and a better conversation to have, to not sound like a 60-year-old. I totally understand. I'm just saying, this is something that I recognize it's gonna be much harder for me to do because it does require rewriting my thoughts because I think that way. So I have to like think differently and then or think the thing that I think and then find another word to say out loud, which is a lot more processing and computing to do.
I didn't promise it's going to be easy, but
You know, it does
but
work. It's amazing. I don't think I ever was able to carry a conversation like this without sliding right back into the wow and amazing because it's just so natural for me. And having this structure was like, okay, this is a safe space to try it. And it worked really well. So,
yeah, it works. And the reason it works because when we tone things down, right? When something is super amazing, then it would deserve the super amazing title. If we kind of apply super amazing to everything, including a cucumber that we just found, we don't have other, incredible properties to assign to something that is truly amazing. And it kind of keeps everything in proportion, kind of keeps small, interesting, quiet, right? So just to recap, because we are almost out of time for today, and you and I can talk for probably a very long time. We want to always apply everything that we do, our questions, authenticity, the giving, with the mindset of thinking about the other person. Okay, so that takes the most practice, and it only takes shift, right? So before you start a conversation, it's like really training your mind saying, only the other person is interesting. Only the other person is interested. Right. And once you do that, you kind of find yourself having conversations really easily because you find interest in other people. And then everything else becomes easier. And it's not only the conversation, it's the giving, it's the rules of authenticity. Right. So here is my challenge to you at your next networking event. Do not pitch your startup. Only listen. You say to yourself, okay, I'm going, first of all, it makes thinking about the convention or the networking event much easier. You don't
yes.
dread it. You're like, oh, okay. Why? Because we put aside the neediness sign. Okay, the I need. Okay, that's gonna wait. Now I'm going there to listen, to get acquainted, to see maybe. Actually, what you're doing now that I'm thinking about it, you're stepping into an investor's mode, or
Mm.
you're stepping into some other people that are looking to find great talent. What do? They're like, okay, I'm just curious. I'm curious to find talent, special people, right? I don't have an ED sign. Okay, so I'm tuning in, and that is the practice, and that makes the whole experience better. And just before we go, one other little thing. Let's say somebody asks you, what do you do? And let's say, I'll give an example of a cybersecurity startup. Let's say you're in a company, communication company, it doesn't matter. And you would say, Emma, but they asked me what I do. How do I not pitch my startup? So this is what you do. You say, for example, somebody would ask me, what do you do? And let's say that I work at a cybersecurity company. So I would say, I work at a cybersecurity company. If the other side is interested in learning more, they would ask me, what does the cybersecurity company do? And I would say,
Mm.
you know how people fall into these phishing scams? So we teach them how not to do it. If they want more information, they would say,
They would
well, how
ask.
do you do it? Right? And I was like, okay, so we have this superhuman, amazing technology when we said super amazing to stuff, okay, that we can do it. And so I would go level in when I'm asked. Otherwise, why do I have to throw all this information at a person that doesn't even care or doesn't want to know? They're not going to process this information anyway, right? So if somebody asks me, so what do you do? I work at this communication company, and they don't care about the communication to them. They're like, oh, it's nice, okay. So I know they're not interested to hear more. So there is no point in pitching,
Right.
right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a great time saver. Why would I spend all that time if they're not interested? It's about moving the trust, and it's not just the interest. It's like, I trust you that you're going to tell me if you're interested,
Yeah.
and then I'm going to spend the energy. And yeah, like, why not? We do that everywhere else, but in networking events, like, why not? It does work better outside of networking events to everybody. So yeah, I'm excited. I accept the challenge.
Good. So we have 3 things for today. 1, we go to a networking event, not pitching.
Not pitching.
Curious, whatever we need is going to wait. The second thing is that every question we want to ask or we ask has to be an authentic question that we really want answers to. If we don't find any questions that we want answers to, don't ask it. Just say, as you said previously, another session, don't eat that. It's not worth the calories. Okay. So don't ask it if you're not interested. And the third thing is, if asked, what do you do? Don't pitch it. Okay. In levels, let the other side see if they're interested. What do they do? And if you want to pitch, set aside after the conference, after the convention, set a business meeting. If somebody's really interested in you, they should show you the same level of courtesy of setting a time for a pitch, right?
Yeah.
I know it's counterintuitive. I know it's like, what did you just do? You just ruined the whole pitching mechanism. Sorry, guys. Works better.
Based on my very little experience with your methods, they worked really well. So I'm really excited to try them and report back next week.
Report back. And this is what we'll do next week, taking this further.